2024. Your election command center, 3FM 92.7. 24 minutes after 8 here at Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Johnny Hughes. We decided, and we have, as we mentioned earlier, purpose in our hearts to also take the democracy conversations to the doorstep of everybody, including first-time voters who will have an opportunity to exercise their franchise as has been guaranteed by the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and in furtherance of our democracy. We want to engage all sectors. These are the young people for whom the big policies are being announced for. These are the young people for whom the future belongs. We want to hear them out. We want to find out from them what will engage their minds for them to make a certain decision come December 7th. Will it be party colors? Will it be the slogans? Will it be the party songs? The campaign songs? Will it be the Nuko Few that will be distributed across the board? Will it be the vibes that they get from the campaigns? Will it be the hashtags and the taglines? Given the fact that they are all Gen Zs, what's trending on X, for example? Nkoye mama, naze nkoye papa. All of those conversations. Listen to the young side of things. And there's 96 days to the election. I've got 2 students from the University of Ghana and 2 students from the University of Cape Coast. In our days, somebody teasingly said the University of Constant Confusion. The UCC there. Always learning and running around. If you lose God, bad. Pressure baby. George Yosing is with the University of Ghana. Ernestina Kushika Eli Nambano is at the University of Ghana. Marie Ej Chum is from the UCC, and Jerome Awaite Tay. They are my guests this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. How are you? Energy, Gen Z, energy. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you guys doing? Are you sure you're fine?
Yes.
Are you ready for the elections?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Let me ask you, George, are you ready for the elections?
Yes, please.
Ernestina, what about you?
I'm very ready.
Marie?
Yes,
Marie, you're ready for the elections?
Yes.
Jerome?
I'm very sure ready.
You're okay. So, Jerome, Marie, you have to speak up. You're on live radio, so you have to speak up. This is not mommy's bedroom. So you're all qualified voters.
Yes, please.
First of all, let me ask you, have you checked to find out if your name is in the register?
Okay, for me, I've not done that yet.
But did you register?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ernestina, what about you? Did you
Also
register?
the same.
You registered?
I've registered, but I've not checked whether
Okay.
my name is there yet.
Marie, have you registered?
Yes, I've done the same.
Have you checked?
Nope.
You haven't checked, Jerome? What about you?
I haven't registered yet.
You haven't registered, so you cannot vote. Okay, why did you not register when the opportunity was offered you?
Thank you very much. And
Okay.
I want to greet, first of all, the school that's raising me for now, that's University of Cape Coast. I thank all of them for their service and their knowledge impact on me that I've been here so far. So, and then to my parents, my families, actually, I'm really good. I'm here. I'm happy for them. So, first of all, I decided not to indulge myself in this year's or maybe in a few years to come, the elections, for several reasons.
Tell me.
Okay, I happen to be someone who sits at the back doors. Let me say I sit at the back to observe. I like observations.
Right.
And I like to analyze situations to see how good and bad it can be to me. So, actually, I've been trying to understand how politics have changed, the dynamics of politics, since I've started to be able to assess knowledge and know how it is to be an educant.
Right.
So, I've lived to see several elections. NDC
How many
came.
elections have you seen?
Okay, so I was born in 2003, so I can say I've seen quite a number of elections.
2003. So by the time you came to the age of discretion, that would have been 2023, 2013. You were 10 years.
10 years. Very
So you would have seen President Mills's election. That was the election that you can say you maybe saw. And then subsequently 2012, 2016, 2020, and then this. Okay, great.
So I've seen how Ghana has been since I was able to know that this is bad, this is good. And if I could assess very well, I think accountability is one of the major reasons why I think I'm not yet fit to indulge in active.
I don't understand the accountability in
so
what
the
sense?
accountability I mean is, we see the government as a governance. It kept on changing,
Right.
from MDC to MPP, which have been the dominant parties in Ghana right now.
Right.
And they kept on shifting from each other to each other, kept on shifting, and then we hear them saying we are coming to create jobs, we are coming to make the youth's life possible, make them have adequate life, make them like increase standard of living. Yet still, they were given their chances, and they even implemented same policies when they came.
Right.
Saying they will create new jobs, education for all, and like I think all these things were there already. I can remember before our president, His Excellency, former President Kufuor, he made some provisions for this high school and then the free accessibility of education for all. Yet still, it's bypassed. They couldn't look at it very well, let it die, and they come again and they want to implement it again. I see accountability there as less. And the reason why I say accountability is less because when they were in power, we couldn't have a one-on-one interaction with them to question them on. And even there is no notable law that says that if you put this policy there, you're not able to fulfill. You have to atone for that policy that you haven't done.
So you think that the politicians can promise, but if they don't deliver, the people don't hold them accountable enough, and that's why. But that's the more reason you should have gotten your name into the register if you think that somebody has not delivered. Maybe your member of parliament promised you something, maybe the government of the day made a promise and they have not fulfilled, or they made a promise, they are fulfilling it, and you think that you need to give them another leave of life so that they can continue. Then that should have been a good reason, no?
You're surely right. But I think if something is there, I'm not the first person to complain about this. There are several youth out there, if you go and ask them, why are you not voting? They'll be like, oh, okay. For example, my brother voted once, and he's angry. Not because he voted for the wrong person or right person, but because what he wanted or what he yearned for, he couldn't get it. Okay. And nobody addressed it. They left it just there. And because the politicians are able to do other things that were helpful to other people. It like people, those who support them, think that, oh, it's okay. Let them come again. Maybe they will do something better.
So would you ever vote in this country?
I'll vote, certainly. I'll vote when the time comes. That is, if I want to be a responsible citizen, as like Ghana demands from me, I'll vote. But for now, I think I have to pick on the whole. Keep on observing and analyzing and try to help more youth. I'm really glad helping more youth to understand the system before they go and put their ballots there.
Right.
So I want them to be able to know why they are going to vote, not because they have to vote as because they are 18 years or above.
That's right.
But because they should know that I'm voting for this person. I know if the person comes, I'll get this.
Right. And
if he doesn't get, then I have to petition for it. Like draw like a formal thing.
Okay.
To tell them that no, I voted for you because of this. First HS. You write it. Okay, you're right. You have done it. I'm glad. I'll engage in the next policy or the next election. But I voted for you. Maybe for one dam or one district, one like things that may improve our life, because we the youth are the future of the country.
That's right.
If the youth nowadays don't have what to do, then I think when you leave, I think our parents and those in power now, when you leave the system, then I think we just come and be dormant in the system. We poor people, we will not have like good governance system. The people we produce from the school will not be able to like stand in for us. Accountability wise and responsibility wise.
I see.
We'll just be
okay, Jerome, thank you. Let me get to Ernestina and ask her. You have registered.
Yes, please.
And you have yet to check. Maybe Jerome, the IT guy, will help you to check with the USSD code. But tell me, how excited are you about this election? This will be your first election.
Yes, please.
How excited about you, or otherwise? Tell me.
I'm very elated because it helps me to also exercise or like use my rights as a citizen of Ghana. Basically, looking at the things or the previous presidents that came into power with their policies, their manifestos and stuff. So I believe that when you vote, you are actually assenting to whatever will come.
Right.
So let's say, for instance, the manifesto for MPP, creating of jobs, reducing costs of living and stuff. I think that's basically their policy that they want to bring to board when they come to power. So I'm actually so happy that I'm going to involve myself or engage in this exercise to actually exercise my franchise.
I'm sure you've been listening to the various messages and the various candidates. Some say it's a duopoly, NDC, MPP only. Some say, let's give Cheddar a chance. Let's give Alan Chamanti a chance. Let's give this person a chance. the policies that are being thrown at you and the manifestos, 3 of them so far that have been thrown at you, has any of them shaken you yet to say, okay, now I think I'm making a decision?
Well, still deliberating because I won't say one had shaken me properly. But I'm glancing through.
You are looking at them,
yes.
okay, with bombastic side eye, as they say, the Gen Z say.
I'm still going through.
George, you are familiar with the media. At least this will be your second, third internship, so you are familiar with the media. You hear the politicians come in and go. You hear duty bearers. You hear policymakers come in and go. This was the first election for you. What does it mean to you?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Yeah. So, with this being my first time of going to vote, I think it's a great opportunity for me because this is a time to exercise my franchise as a Ghanaian, as stated in the 1992 Constitution. So, I think this is a time for me, or the opportunity to also take part in influencing things in the country, because we are able to influence the affairs of the state through our votes. Right. Yeah. So I'm very glad.
For you are happy that you are going to be part of the process to make a decision for the country.
Yes, please.
That's what you think.
Yes.
Let me come to Marie and ask you, Marie, what do you also think? First-time voter.
Personally, I'm very excited that I'll be able to engage in this year's election because I've always wished to vote.
Oh, I see.
20.
When you see mommy and daddy going to vote, you also want to say, me too, when will it become my turn?
Yeah, and I enjoyed free education. And what made me proud was during free education, things were going well. So when people were like, yeah, we voted for NPP and that's why we're enjoying free education, I felt so proud. Right. I felt like maybe if I was also matured, I would have been part of the voters so that I can see that, yes, it's because of us, that's why we are enjoying this. So personally, now that I've gotten the chance to vote, I'm very excited.
I see.
And I also have the person I'll vote for in mind.
You have made up your mind already.
Yeah.
You have looked at the manifestos, you have heard the messages, or you're voting because you already had made up your mind even before the manifestos came?
No, I've gone through the manifestos.
You have gone through the manifestos. Yeah. Which portions of the manifestos spoke to your heart and your mind?
Personally, I was really critical on the NPP because I felt like some of the things they are saying they've already done, but I actually think that maybe they can do better because they've done it before. And they are starting, since I enjoyed the free education, I feel like they started on a very good end. So I think that maybe they can improve. I also checked the NPP's own, and it's kind of similar, but I can see there's a bit of changes in it. And I think I have to really go through to make, maybe I'm changing my decision, but personally I've already decided.
But for now you have actually made up your mind.
Yes.
So all the talk about double track and feeding challenges in the secondary schools, it doesn't matter to you. As for that one there, yeah, it's happening. For you, you are interested in, we promised free SHS, we have delivered, and that's why I want to vote.
No.
Okay, tell me more.
I feel like they stated it first. When they said that they were going to do free education, people thought that it wouldn't be possible.
That's right.
But they did it. And I've really enjoyed free education. I won't lie about that because it started in our era. It started 20...
You were the first cohorts?
Yeah, we were the first. We started with the gold and green track.
Right.
And during that time, I can say my family had a bit of hardships.
Okay.
Because of the free education, I had like 3 siblings in the university, and my mom was also sick. And that time there was a bit of money issues and all that. Okay. So me going to school for free feeding, and even books were given to us for free. I really felt like, yeah, I enjoyed it. Right. And it was beneficial to me. But as time went on, there's a bit of hardship here and there. And personally, I think the hardship they are dealing with it, that's how I see it. Because there's a lot of countries going through hardships too, not only Ghana. But maybe Ghanaians see it like maybe they are not putting in efforts. But me personally, I think that they can do more. But also haven't decided whether they can, if I vote for them, they can do what I'm expecting of them. So I'm still going through the manifestos, all of them. And the new parties too that are wishing to like take over and rule. I'm also going through their manifestos.
Guys, have anybody tried to campaign to you from any of the parties, Jerome? Have you been approached by anybody from any of the parties, NDC, MPP, Movement for Change, either somebody who supports Cheddar, Ayariga, anybody? Have they tried, Jerome?
Okay, so recently, I think one of them do tried. But
from which party?
I think I can't disclose it. Or is it possible?
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
Feel free.
Okay, so it's from actually MPP.
MPP tried to campaign to you. What about you, Marie?
In school, NDC.
In school. NDC tried to campaign to you in school. Yes, what about you, Ernestine?
The two parties that are actually on top now.
Okay, NDC and MPP.
And NPP. The two of them in groups, like singing, and whilst I was passing by, they tried to tell me.
On campus?
No.
Okay.
Around,
yes.
Okay. So trying to convince me to vote for their party. But I just told them, I've heard them.
Okay, I'll take my decision.
Yes.
What about you, George?
For me, the NDC.
The NDC has been coming to you frequently. What about the MPP? You're on campus as well.
I've never had an encounter with
the MPP, but the NDC is more in your face.
Yes,
Jerome, let me come to you. You said you enjoy helping people to know why they must vote. Let us into it. What are the components of this knowing why they must vote? Are you talking to them about issues, or you're just talking to them about your personal feelings and sentiments?
Okay. Thank you for the question. I think first of all, I have to define the personal aspects. Like you shouldn't put your personal experience or personal feeling on someone. But actually, I want to convince or interact with people, especially people of my age, my peers, on the decisions, especially in election. Because elections are not something that can be redone until a tenure. So it's like you are putting a great opportunity. That's like a great chance of like order. Great chance putting the whole nation into the hands of someone. And I think if you're not really careful, or you just think you are voting because my dad asked me to go and vote for NPP, or my mom asked me to go and vote for NDC or any other emerging, then I think you are voting because...
Does that happen though, guys?
Yeah,
that your parents will ask you to go and vote for a party?
Oh, in some instances, I think it
George?
No, I've never.
Your father and mother will not say that. What about you, Ernestina?
No.
Okay, what about you, Marie?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
But parents have a great influence on their children. So it's possible that a parent can convince their child to vote for
a certain party.
Yeah.
Okay, Jerome, sorry about that. Let's go on.
So, especially like when we were in high school, that time I wasn't eligible yet. I was still in the adolescence.
Right.
So, especially when it comes to elections, you see the MPs, for example, they now come to, and I think one wrong thing I see, or let me say,
speak up for me, please.
One disastrous thing I see about like politics in Ghana is that they wait, and when it's like few months or
to the elections,
then you see greater developments.
So you think we should vote every year?
Not personally about like voting every year, but why would like people we entrust with such opportunity wait until when it's getting to time for a reassurance, then you come to us paying visits to us, like
being all caring,
as if like they cared when they came into power. The first years after election are considered dormant. You don't see
the lame duck period.
Lame duck period. You don't see any notable. But from the second, third, that's the apex. That's when you see like some development, if it's possible. But the latter year, like this kind of year, you see major improvements in roads, major improvements in infrastructure, education, like health, agriculture. You see them paying much attention to what the people need. And I'm asking, why will you sit? So for the first 2 years or first 3 years, Ghanaians will keep on suffering. And so when you think that you need mandate again, then you come to them and ask them, what do you need? As if they didn't tell you what they needed when you were coming for the vote.
You think that means the politicians taking advantage of the people, or mocking them, if you will?
They take very well. So let me say, for example, we see some very like instances where politicians do buy, let me say, when put in quotes, do buy votes of people. And I'll put it like this: if someone struggles to buy something from you, then the person determines how to use it. Let me say, you are selling a dog, and I like the dog, and I came for the dog, and the dog is stubborn. All I do with it, sit, the dog won't sit. Stand, don't go stand. Then I think I have all the rights to do what I like with the dog. To whether school aids, like don't starve it or do it. So I think when we let politicians struggle to get our votes, then when they come, that psychological, emotional input that they suffered when they were getting the votes, they try to ease it by also doing what they want. That's per their whims and caprices, of which sometimes we don't really see what they have done. We just make some assumption that, they are corrupt. but we don't have evidence that they're corrupt. They say, oh, they have embezzled this money. Yes, still we don't see the money. So I think when Ghanaians or sometimes like we make politicians stress over getting our votes, then I think when they come and they're doing something,
do you think young people are interested in these things, drilling down to the details that you're giving us? Because most of the young people that I find and I interact with, they say, Charlie, you know, they matter to each other. We won't go tier bet. They talk plenty English. Did you get that vibe too on the streets?
I get that vibe, and I'm one of them. Like I'm a youth. I'm a kid, like, and I think because you see, they talk. When we were young, our parents were talking for us, and we are being close to them. You don't listen to them. So we grow up with this training that, no matter how hard we speak, no matter how strong our voices are, these politicians will not listen to us. So why then do we have to stress about petiting ourselves to them, putting ourselves on the line? Like they see, okay, let me find ulterior motives to also make myself like right, like find jobs to do, and okay, if they will vote, they should vote. Those who are ready to vote, they should go and vote. So you meet some youth on town, like in town, and ask them, are you voting? You Charlie. My mind no D.
My mind no D. That's right.
My mind no D. It's not because like they don't want to partake in active politics or in the like country's governance, but because they have seen, and they saw no improvement.
I see. Ernestina, what issues are central to you in this election? As a young lady, as we're talking about menstrual pad, we're talking about feeding, we're talking about free accommodation in universities, we're talking about free fee paying, we're talking about what other things have been promised? So many other things, jobs, you know. Say again. Free, of course, none of you qualify. As we speak.
We have siblings.
Yes, so yeah, you have siblings, but then some people will look at what they will benefit from, not what others will benefit from. So I'm asking you, from your perspective, what issues are central to you in this election?
So some people actually think of what the government can offer them and not the country. I think that is one central thing or problem I actually noticed. They are only looking for their personal needs, wants, leaving the whole country like that. So I think if everybody has that mind of just for the country, I think coming together to work for the country and not for themselves, I think Ghana would be one of the outstanding country.
For you,
yes.
What issues? So, I mean, there's somebody listening to us now. His main issue is where he will get kinky and fish.
Exactly.
And how cheap that is.
Exactly.
For somebody, he has not had water flow through his tap for 5-6 years.
Exactly.
If you're able to turn on his tap now, you have his vote or her vote. What will make you go and vote for a certain part? What are you looking for?
Well, there are policies. That is particular policy that works for the whole.
Mention that policy. What policy are we talking about? School feeding, good roads,
yes, for the
street lights, traffic lights. What is it?
Yes, traffic lights, and also the street lights, as you talked about like 2 days or 3 days ago, and also the school feeding. I was a victim where even though they were doing it, but I tell you, most days we don't eat. Sometimes we use breakfast as what?
Lunch.
Dinner, like supper. Yes.
No, I don't understand you.
Like sometimes it'll be like the stock, the things in a store.
There's nothing in their kitchen, the storehouse.
We should wait. We would wait like more than, so some people, the teachers would leave us to go out since they are hungry. People will go and buy food and stuff. So like porridge would be served
as dinner.
Yes, in the evening.
Because there's only one meal.
Yes.
And the meal has to go around.
Balance, exactly.
And this was in secondary school.
Yes.
Free SHS.
Yes. I am a victim. I also.
Did you face the same thing, Marie?
We faced it in Form 3.
Okay.
But our school, I attended Yale Santua Girls School, and our alumni also helped the school. So even though we're facing those challenges, the school provided us with.
So it's true that all student unions actually give
my
monies.
School, they help.
So everything is not like entirely free. Somebody somewhere is paying.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, what she's saying. Yale Santua, the only problem we experienced, that was in 2021 before we completed, was. In the evening, in the afternoon, they always served us with beans. That is gobe. But usually their menu was Form 1 and Form 2. in the afternoon there were different foods. Like sometimes you get wache with egg, and they will serve fruits in addition, and all that. But in Form 3 there was a problem with the food delivery and all that, so they always served us gobe in the afternoon. Right. That's all we.
That was a constant.
It was constant.
But then you were mentioning, for example, that even though you had that challenge, the old girls of the school were on the platform, and they were. That's why. So the free means that somebody somewhere, because if old girls had not brought money to support you, it means that you would have been hungry. Would you agree to that?
I may agree to it, but
after chopping their money, you may agree.
I agree that they helped us, but also I felt like we weren't the only person facing it, and we were too many. Like I remember our batch from 3 were almost like 2,000 or something. We were many, so imagine like.
But that's not an excuse to say that because we are many.
I personally feel like. It's just something that happened, and then there were hardship everywhere. So
but the hardship cannot be across. Which school was yours?
I'm for Senior High School.
I'm for in the Volta region. Okay.
Yes.
Did you experience same, Jerome? Okay, which school? Okay, in the Ashanti region. So both of you are in the Ashanti region. Eastern region. Okay, so Eastern, Volta, Koforidua, and then Ashanti. Yeah. So this is widespread. It's not as if it's in one place. Yeah. And I mean, I belong to Old School Union, so I know what we also contribute. George, did you go through same?
I also
which school?
Mauli School.
In the Volta region?
Yes, please.
So old boys had to come in.
Yes.
But the PTA has been disbanded, so it's supposed to be the parents and the teachers alone.
Yes.
Without the old boys and the... Jeez, okay. I get it. Make your point, so.
All right. So I know in every government there's definitely flaws, no matter what.
Right.
But I think if they come together to plan very well, I mean, improve upon what they see they are lacking.
Right.
I think there will be a good and a comfortable place for all to live.
George, let's imagine December 7 is here. You have gone to the polling station. You have verified. You are going to vote. You have your thumb and you have the ballot sheet. You have seen the presidential candidates. What will make you vote for candidate A or B? What issues?
Okay, so recently the MPP and the NDC have delivered their manifestos, and one thing I paid attention to is the issue of job creation. So recently the NDC spoke that they will be creating more jobs.
Right.
With the initiative of the 24-hour economy. Yes. And they think that will bring more jobs to the youth, as most of them are unemployed. So I think that's one of the things I also
But
look
the MPP is also telling you that they've provided 2 million jobs. They want to provide some more jobs with industrialization, one district, one factory, all of those ones. That's also a point to consider, no?
Yes. So they had an opportunity to initiate those policies, but I don't know if it's only me, but with the one district, one factory, I think it was just some few days back that I was going to Insawam, and then I saw one factory. They produce those packs and plastic spoons. Yeah, I think that's the only factory I've seen. Yeah, boldly written on it, one district, one factory. So I don't know if I'm the one who have not noticed some in the country, but I think it's not that effective. Yes. You
don't think that they've been able to deliver on it as heavily as would have been the case?
Yes, please.
What's your own concern, Marie? Jobs, would that be a deciding factor for you too in the elections?
Yeah.
Because very soon you'll be done with school and you'll be looking for jobs.
I'll be looking for jobs. So I've considered that.
Okay. And who do you trust to give you a job?
Dealing with the parties, looking at the manifestos, every party has said that same line. We will deliver jobs.
Do you believe them?
I believe them because.
Are you sure? Yeah. Remember NAPCO people, and then those from the YEA back in the day, yes. Nurses who were waiting for their posting, teachers. You know, there's always a backlog of all those people. Allowance and all those. Remember them. Because there are nurses who completed, some I think when this government came, some said, oh, they completed in 2014, 15. They didn't get their posting. Now their nurses say, oh, 2019, 2020. Yeah. I'm sure that this government will go and come, another government will come and say, oh, we too, 2022, 2023. So now I ask you the question again. Who do you trust?
That's a very difficult question.
Because why it's such a big question.
Yeah, because as we said, 2014 people complained of unemployment. Even during NDC time, people complained of unemployment, and now they are still complaining. But I think that it's not more focused on the youth.
3FM,
even with the pension pay. I'm really focused on that because my mom will be going on pension, I think this year or next year. Yeah, she's grown. And I read the manifesto. I think NDC only delivered it clearly that they give people their pension and all that, and many people are not receiving this. So looking at NDC, I really like that line in the manifesto about the pension pay and all that.
Because of your mother and other pensioners.
As Ernestina stated, she said people think about what they will gain and not the government. I think about it should be about me first before others come in.
Right.
Because you can't be suffering at home and you be thinking about people on the streets. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
So I don't agree with her. I have to put me first.
Right.
So I'll focus on the manifesto that delivered the pension pay because my parents may go on pension and I have a sibling that is now entering the university.
Right.
I'm the last by one, so we have the last one that went to the university. So I'll focus on that. And also coming with as he stated, the free first year. Like every student in the first year will not pay anything.
You're looking out for your kid sister or kid brother.
Yeah. Okay. I have to look for myself and my family.
So now you have two ideas. One, free SHS because you benefited from it.
Yeah.
That's with the NPP. Now you're talking about pension and first year free tuition fees from the NDC. You are torn between NDC and NPP.
Yeah.
Let's imagine that this is December 7th. Will you still be confused? Will you put it in the middle?
No. Okay. Right now, as I said, I have decided, but I'm still going through their manifesto. Right now, I'm looking at the CPP and also Cheddar.
Okay.
So I'm going through those manifestos to see what they have, and maybe my mind may change.
What about Cheddar? His suit, his hair, how he speaks?
Personally, I think because he's a bit young, he knows a lot about the youth. So I think that
you see him as a Gen Z grandpa.
Yeah, okay. I would say that. I feel like he knows what's going on with the youth because I can say he's young.
Right.
I don't know his real age.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that he may be able to improve on it. But also, looking at him being young, I don't know how to put it, but I feel like he can do well. So I'll also go through his manifesto because I haven't taken like a critical look at it.
Yesterday he put out a 12-point agenda. I see.
What was that about?
Yeah, this version of a manifesto. He said this is his plan. Apostolic plan. That's what he called it, right, George? Yeah. So now we're moneycracy, money in politics. You guys heard about it?
Yes.
Has anybody tried to induce you?
Not yet, but
not at all. Will you take money if you're offered money to go and vote?
Oh, the money. If someone offers you money, you have to take it. So there's no doubt. But that doesn't mean that the money will influence you to do.
But if they bring the money, you take the money.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Who rejects money?
And will you take the money?
Of course.
George? Will you take the money?
I will.
Jerome?
I value principles more than money.
Okay, so you won't take the money.
I don't even fight too much for money. I fight for the principles.
Okay, so you are principle, but that's also their principle. They think that you're offering me money. Why not? What do I lose if I take the money?
I did mention in the beginning that when you let politicians stress to get you, like your votes on a paper, they also come and do what you think they want to do.
But if the politician offers me money, I take the money and decide not to vote for that politician. That's stressful enough. Or it's not stressful.
Okay, one. You have.
But feel free to argue, guys. I mean, the microphones are live.
By morals, you even defile your own self. Because you know for sure.
Why have you this?
You defile your own self because one, you are taking a person and asks you, will you vote for me? He say yes. That yes is an assurance for him. Maybe he's going to accountable to the office that I've been able to give about 2,000 people 10 cities.
But the final analysis of the results will determine.
So they will be disappointed in you one.
Okay, get closer to the microphone.
This accumulated anger, in case they get power, you can imagine what they will do. They have made several losses. they put several like money at stake for you.
So they should also consider what they are doing is actually not good by offering money to somebody to vote for them.
Thank you for that.
So they should think about that
clearly.
before they think
Like,
of their anger.
If we, the electorates like this, you let them suffer to get your vote, and I think you make the work quite difficult.
Marie doesn't agree with you.
Yeah, Joe, you keep stating that they stress to get votes. Like, do you expect them to get it freely? Like, I'm not getting the point.
In democracy, it's about my opinion, your opinion, our opinion. It's not about me struggling to get your opinion on board.
So
or
you think that
trying to please yourself.
every president or every political party stresses to get votes?
Okay, in Ghana, let me put this quite clearer. You have been here for several long, and you know, for example, how Ghanaians do live when it comes to votes. Especially these NPP primaries, NDC primaries. Like you see, buying fridges, buying cars, buying televisions, and sharing it for the delegates.
That shouldn't be the thing they should do.
Do you know that what you consider as struggling is actually not what you think it is? For example, there are a lot of I don't like to use the word illiterate, but there are people who haven't gone to school. So they may not get the chance to read the manifesto. I don't know whether manifestos can be delivered in tree. But there are even people who haven't gone to school that cannot read tree.
Right.
So if the political party sends someone to go to the village, like have a personal interaction with someone and talk to them, maybe after talking with the person, okay, you've given us the chance to speak about what our government will deliver. So you just take this 100 cedis and use it to buy water. It doesn't mean they are stressing. And maybe they are.
It looks like UCC is taking over the debate from Eugene.
It looks like you are thinking that maybe sometimes they don't give the money to them because they want them to vote for you. It's just an act of like, it's normal servicing. For example, the calls I do like this, we go to places to interview people for data, and our madam always tells us that if you go there, engage them with a conversation. After talking with them, ask them that, do you care for a drink? Do you care for food? If they say no, just find an envelope and put something small inside and give it to them. It's not like I'm trying to manipulate them or something.
Data.
It's just being
appreciative.
That's appreciative. And that's not struggling.
It's right. Appreciating someone for giving you like some responsibility or something. It's right. But let's look at this. I think they should have done this like in the mid or the apex of their tenure. But you see, getting to let me say November Day, you see this quite like predominant. You see it clearly.
So you say around that time the motive is wrong.
The motive is wrong. The money
Tina doesn't agree with you on that.
You know,
George, do you agree with him?
Yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah,
that the motive is wrong around that time.
The motive that time is not really about appreciating you for having time to talk to
So
them.
George, if you get money in November, you won't take it. Now that we have contextualized the conversation, will George take money in November from a politician if he comes off and say, George, Jifato Tom Brown?
Yeah, he may not be giving me the money to influence me to vote for him or her, but maybe to appreciate maybe the conversation I had with him.
Okay. So for example, John Dumelo Lydia last time they are offering students or free bus rides to go back home.
Yes.
Would you consider that as also trying to get you to vote for them, manipulate you, or that's equivalent of money? Would you say?
No.
So I think so.
Okay,
I think
we say
because they were there right from the beginning of
the administration,
and then they waited till
getting to election.
Yeah, getting to election before they started doing that.
Good deeds.
So I think it's because of the elections
that they are offering you free rides.
Yes.
So you won't take that ride.
No.
You go home on your own transport.
But let's look at
that would have been cool money for you to get some.
Regardless of their motives or anything, whether it's money, transport, or whatever, I would take it. But depending on their motives, though, the vote still depends on me. I am going to consider who I am voting. So you're not going to put knife on my head. Tina, go and vote for this person. And so when you are coming to vote, then they'll hold your hand to put no way.
As for you, you chop the money, but you will still go and vote the way you want to vote.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That is
and
me.
also,
Marie?
he stated something that the government, they wait till it reaches to the apex year, like when they are closer. But me personally, I think, what if they had that plan in mind, but they were being strategic to maybe look that I've gotten the money now, and that's when I'm ready to deliver the plan. It's not all about. Personally, I think people do think politicians are that wicked. But me, I did government in school, and I really liked politics. I won't lie about that. I like it.
Let's talk about e-levy and betting tax. What do you think? Should they go? Should they stay?
Well, personally, I think it should go.
E-levy or betting tax?
Both.
Why? You don't want the country to get money?
No, me, I'm not betting.
Okay, you don't bet.
I don't bet.
Okay.
But
your boyfriend does?
No.
Okay.
All right. So, especially the e-levy, I wish it goes because, like, I don't know how to say it.
Say it the way it is. Speak ever.
You sending money as to maybe you see my school fees like this, they send it to me to pay. So imagine sending it, the amount of money she's supposed to add to it.
Right.
Like, it's stressful. It's stressful when imagining like a student like SHS maybe send you 100 cedis as feeding fee. But by the time you withdrew it, like 90 like seriously. So they would rather look for a different strategy than the e-levy. I would have appreciated it very much.
Mary, should it go? E-levy? Betting tax?
It should stay.
E-levy should stay. Betting tax should stay. But both parties, the NDC and the NPP, are promising to scrap it if they win power. You are telling them to make it stay.
But the NPP were the one that invented it, right?
Right.
Yeah, personally, I think the Ghanaians do not know that if they really want the nation to excel, they have to pay tax. Because one thing I've studied about people outside, you see, outside they work, even though there's money in their country and all that, but they don't joke with their tax.
Right.
And it's their tax that they use to develop the country. So if people really want Ghana to be the Ghana they want, they shouldn't be afraid to invest in the nation. That's what I think.
So a simple thing would be, for example, on each electricity domestic bill, there's 1% for street lighting. It's constant. But the street lights are always off. So you are taking my money, but the lights are off.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Elsewhere, when you take the money, the lights are on. So they don't feel the pain paying the tax. Here, when you pay the tax, that's what is on the street out there. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I feel like that's the problem with us. We don't actually see the improvements in the nation. That's why we are always complaining about it. So the problem is from, I think, the government. Because if you impose tax on us, we are paying it. So what you intend to use the tax for should be delivered.
Okay. What about you, Jerome?
Well,
should it stay? Should it go?
The two taxes are to be eliminated.
You want the two taxes gone?
To be eliminated.
Why?
Because one, there are several tax inputs on the Ghana, the direct and indirect taxes that we paid. And I think, like my parents, like my father, for example, is a teacher. And the last time I was privileged to see his payslip. And I was very, I was sad for him. Because
that in spite of it, he was able to put you through school up to this level.
The deduction alone can even pay for some utilities. That deductions that they have been
right, income tax, this, that, GES.
And still, he puts money on his phone, going to withdraw, and then boom. Or maybe you try, today he's a sports person. So maybe, then he puts Kotoko, 2 cedis. And maybe he wins 1,000. Then they said, sporting tax, they are taking some.
So you think that the taxes should go?
So much taxes, but less accountability of the taxes that they took.
I see.
They've been taking so much tax. We should calculate the number of years, 31 years after independence, or let me say democracy.
Right, for the Fourth Republic.
For the Fourth Republic. And then we pay about if they can even accountable for this year's tax, the tax that they even take this year, to be a great deal for the youth. If they're able to account, tell us that, this year you're able to accumulate this, not approximation. They should not give us approximation because they can sit somewhere and draft some things and bring out evidence. Because this generation is very good with forging.
Very good.
Very good in forging.
I'm with him.
Students like us, we are able to forge our results for our parents.
Exactly.
So how much more people who are able to teach us to do something?
You're the one doing that. I don't do that.
No,
I said,
most of them, most people do that.
My parents have access to mine, so I can't lie about what.
Let's wrap up the conversation, and I would want very candid and honest answers from all of you.
3FM 92.
Which of the parties would you trust, or candidates would you trust with your next 4 years? George.
Okay.
This is a straight question.
I think the NDC.
You trust the NDC?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
So, because before they went out of power, for the MPP to come in to steer the affairs of the state, they were, I wouldn't say they were doing better, but they were able to manage certain things in the country. But when the MPP came, there has been some form of mismanagement in the country with regards to roads, infrastructure. There has been a number of buildings put up by the NDC which has been abandoned by the MPP, which is not good for development. So I think
that will form your choice.
Yes.
Okay, let me come to Marie. Marie, what do you think? Who will you trust with your next 4 years? Microphone,
Should
please.
I say I haven't decided?
You haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Okay, because you are still reading the manifestos.
Yeah, I want to go through Chadet's one and see.
Okay.
Because I haven't gone through it.
Okay. Jerome, what do you think? Who will you trust with your next 4 years? In fact, you are not voting.
Yeah,
but if you had a chance to vote, who would you trust with your next 4 years?
Okay, let me see. By observation and analysis, I don't think the two major parties,
NDC and NPP, should be there.
they do qualify because they took, let me say, majority of the years of tenure in governance.
Right.
And they kept on repeating what they have for us. Like doing this, doing that, and they come again and say we are redoing.
Right.
Meanwhile, you haven't done. And you put a reader as if you have done before. There are new candidates who are trying to pop up. Should I use example? The new movement is example.
Right. Speak up for me.
The new movement. And like people are trying, and one, I think there is also a little doubt about them also because since they haven't done it before, there is a severe fear that, what if they come and then they scrutinize?
Right.
Like they don't do what we really wanted. But me,
Can I chip something?
Allow him to make his point and then you can...
right now I want to be like
92.7.
political observer and analyst. Like I sit, look at what they are doing.
Okay.
If someone comes to me, I want to vote for this person.
Okay. So you are looking
Should I-
for a new person to step in.
step
And
in.
you think that is Kwame Bediako or Alan Chamantin?
For now,
You don't know yet.
trusting a new person is a big deal. And he said,
But you are giving us the option that we should trust a new
We should
person.
trust a new
So it's no longer a big deal for you.
it's not a big deal.
Okay, now tell me, the new faces that we find, Alan Chamantin, Cheddar, who would you go for?
This is a dicey situation. Very dicey. Very dicey.
92.7.
Of course, Ghana cannot shift from these two parties, these two major political parties.
Okay, I think that your mind is not made up yet. Ernestina, let's hear you.
Yes, me, I have a major concern as to, I'm not saying for myself, but when you get to Pando in the Volta region, there are some villages there. I'm coming from one of them.
Right.
My when you see the situation, tears to drop.
Which of the villages? I'm
Pando
interested.
Jigbe.
Jigbe, okay.
Yes, Johnny, our road is one of the worst. I'll not lie to you. So, I don't even like going there.
After a
nowadays.
year of roads, second year of
I'm
roads,
telling
another
you,
year of
I
roads.
wish I have the picture to show you here. You will cry. Seriously, and we don't have network there. So if you go there, meaning like you have
You
to
are
go
cut
on
off
some
from-
So we feel like we are being neglected from, or like we are cut off from like Ghana. Like that's how I feel. Seriously. So business don't move on because somebody will not take his or her new Porsche car. Like going through these potholes, not manholes. Like you like.
So bottom line is what?
So me personally, I believe
FM.
and I trust the government that will come and also look at the small villages we have in Ghana. Not just concentrating on the
And that
the
government
city.
will be who?
Well, for me, I will not say I'll choose somebody personally. I will point at somebody that I'm trusting.
But there are
you.
parties who are
Parties, no. Still
individuals
Still
you are considering.
thinking of,
Okay, so the two ladies are considering.
Yes.
The gentleman is also not too sure, even though he's put the proposition out, Jerome. But George is very certain in his mind who is going to vote for. You wanted to have an intervention
He said
quickly.
the new faces. I was thinking, what if those new faces come in and they actually don't deliver anything and they blame it on the old government? I really think about that a lot.
So you go with what you know.
Yeah,
Okay, one of what you know.
yeah.
Okay.
I think some suggestion is like there should be an act. It should not be like there should be an act.
I hear you.
The act of continuity.
Something that will compel them to
Yeah,
do so.
continuity.
Okay, that's our conversation with the youngsters, first-time voters. Jerome, Awete Tay of the UCC, Marie Ajay Chum of the UCC, and Chinako Shika Elinam Bano of the University of Ghana, and Yosin George of the University of Ghana. We'll take a break. When we return, I'm sure that we can pick a few calls from you, find out what you also think. If you're a first-time voter, it will be a good time to hear from you and for you to tell us what really you would consider, 96 days to the big election on 3FM 92.7. This has been your Election Command Center conversation with the youngsters.
It's 96 days to election 2024. If you need credible and objective coverage of this year's general election, join us at Media General on 3FM 92.7, TV3, 3news.com, and on all our social media platforms. This is your Election Command Center. Make up your mind today.
Everyone is running to bills. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes with acquiring any of our loan facilities.